Hello, beautiful friends. So I was just driving and I had this thing come into my heart. I wanted to share that I was thinking and feeling into is that God is so good. God is so freaking good. I mean, it's just amazing. And the reason I really have to share this and proclaim this, and I know a lot of the people listening to this probably already know what I'm saying and feel me. But I just feel like it's so often I talk to people who believe in God or say they believe in God in any capacity they believe, and yet, I'll talk to the same people and they'll be so worried about these things that they cannot control. And they'll be, I'll often make the suggestion, like, talk to God, pray about it, like, talk to God, like, anything of that nature. And I feel like how often do I feel like I get blown off when I say that? Like, as if I'm not taking what they're saying seriously, or like that's a silly idea, or that's not really effective, that's not really going to do anything, like whatever. And I'm like, didn't you say you believe in God? Like, it baffles me because what I really what I want to say right now is just thinking about how many times I have witnessed miracles after miracle after miracle. There's no limit. I'm so serious. Feel like in my life, especially, I mean, ever since I was a kid, but especially now, I witness miracles constantly. Little ones, big ones. My car was just having this issue. It's making this crazy noise, and I was like, damn, I love my car, that sucks. And then I was kind of freaking out about it for like, I don't know, a few hours. And then I was like, you know what I'm just gonna give it to God. There's no sense in me worrying about it. And then I realized, like, I can just get another car, it's fine. I love this car. Whatever, long story, long history of my car, it's not that relevant. But my point is, like, I was like, God's doing something. I'm gonna flow, I'm gonna surrender, I'm gonna see what's going on, I'm gonna know that I have options. Like, everything literally always works out so divinely because I have this like deep connection and relationship with God. Like, I have that relationship that's like, I know God's got me. And that's what I'm really trying to share, is because I feel like so many people don't really have that relationship with God, even though they believe in God. And so I'm just, I don't know. I guess I just want to share like the importance of cultivating that relationship with God, whatever that means to you. But I'm talking about directly to God, to, the highest, like that source that can do so many things that we cannot do. Is that clear? Like, I seriously witness miracles all the time, and I see people struggling. And I say this humbly because I struggle too. We all struggle. We're all human. We all go through trials and tribulations. But my point is, like, I think a big part of what we're supposed to be learning is to let God in. And that's not something you do idly. It's like you really have to ask God to come into your life, like, all the time. All the time. And just let God. You have to ask God, but then you have to let God, which means you have to let go of so much control, in your mind, trying to control everything. Like, that is such a thing I see all the time, is people think that they have to do it all alone. They really think God has abandoned them. They won't say that. They might not even admit that to themselves, but the way that they're living, they're not letting God in. And then they're wondering why everything is so dark, And again, I say this humbly, but I'm really, trying to get this message across because, again, I'm just sitting here, like, witnessing miracle after miracle. I try to tell people, let God in, let God in, like, pray about it, call Jesus in, like, like seriously get humble and call God in. Stop trying to do everything by yourself, and people just blow me off. It's just like, I'm so serious. This is not a figure of speech. This is not something I'm saying to make you feel better. I mean, I'm seriously giving you the best advice that I have ever had, is like put your pride aside, call God in, like, full on invite God into your life, into your problems, into your issues, into your struggles, into your joys, into your celebrations, into everything. We're not supposed to be doing this alone. We are not alone. It's us that wants to be doing everything by ourselves, because that's like our trauma. We really think God has abandoned us. We can be so I really think pride is the biggest one. The biggest block for most people is people are truly so prideful. They're so prideful. They're too prideful to let God in. And that is such a, that's such an error, because all you're doing is just hurting yourself. Like, I love human beings. We are amazing creatures. But when it comes to what God is capable of, we are like monkeys banging rocks together. And we think that we're going to figure all this out on our own. And we wonder why, we struggle so much with these things. We're literally banging rocks together, and God could be creating a whole, like, castle for you. You won't even understand how. You think it's impossible. Like, God can snatch you out of anything. No matter how deep or complex or dark or fucked up your life is, you would be amazed. I've seen it. I've seen it in myself. I've seen it in others. God can snatch you up out of everything. Things that are impossible for us, things that are completely unfathomable for us, is just another day for God. Seriously. It makes sense. And I have literally witnessed miracles, and that's all I do, to my greatest ability. Obviously I'm not perfect, and I still go through my struggles and pride, but I try to be really, really humble these days, and I try to realize that I can be a vessel for God in every moment. In every moment, I don't need to worry about anything. I don't really need to control anything. Like, I can really just let go and trust in God, and then trust in myself, trust in, like, the field that I'm in. I can unclench. I can, like, let go and just know that I'm taken care of, and that I am eternally taken care of. Even after I die, I'm going to be just fine. And just have that. But why can I do that? It's not just because I'm delusional. It's because it's like I've actually put in so much work for almost all of my life, pretty much, developing this relationship with God, talking to God, feeling God, surrendering to God, like witnessing God, celebrating God, like all of these things you can do every day. Oh, photobomb. Every day, and nobody's perfect. I try to do it, as often as I can, and I'm not perfect, but really, like, call God in and stop being so prideful. For so many people, it's really pride. Like, they're too prideful. They say they believe in God, but when it comes to actually, like, getting on, like, you know what I mean? Like, I want to say getting on your knees and asking God to come in. And it's not that you have to get on your knees and be like this, I don't know why I just wanted to say that. Like, it's not that you're like a beggar for God, because you're a child of God, and God made you, and you're divine royalty in a sense. But I just mean, as far as the humility, stop banging rock. You think you're banging rocks together is better than what God can do for you? It's not. I mean, stop. Like, humans are so prideful. It gets me fired up how prideful people are, to say they believe in God, but then they don't even want to ask God to help them, to ask God to come in and be serious about it, and be really serious about it. You want help, God will help you. If you really want help, you really want to get out of the dark, you really want, to change your life, you really want to do what you're capable of, you need to call God in to help you in some capacity. And then again, that's the first step. And then the second step is you need to actually let God come in. Stop trying to block it. Stop trying to get in the way, This is what we do as human beings. It's like, we get in the way. Like, you gotta stop getting in the way and trust God, and like, sort of just let go of that control that you think you need, that you don't need, that's actually kind of messing up the whole algorithm of, like, actual life. So I would say call God in often, humbly, like, full on, fully, like, get your pride out of the way. Call God in, allow God in, like, open yourself up to God in however you can. Just, even if, again, I say this a lot, it's as Jesus said, just the faith of a mustard seed. If you're in a really dark, dense place, you don't even have to have all of this faith that I'm sharing. You could just literally have If you just give God just the tiniest little leeway, just a sliver, literally the faith of a mustard seed, just open up your mind a little bit for what's possible. That's all. That is literally, I'm telling you, it's all that it takes. It's not that hard. You can do it. Allow God to come in. Does that make sense? Like, just stop blocking it. Really, just stop blocking it. Just get out of your own way. Be receptive. Be open to the possibilities. Ever so slightly is enough. And then the third one would be to follow what God's calling you to do. Take the actions. You know what they are. If you say you don't know what they are, you're probably lying to yourself. And if you genuinely don't know, then you need to go out in nature and meditate and pray, or listen to good music, positive, uplifting music or something, to get, into a mode where you can, like, at least be somewhat clear about the next step. You don't even need to know the whole plan. That's the thing. You won't know the whole plan. You probably won't know the whole plan. Sorry, of course there's a big truck right here. But you probably won't know the whole plan. And you don't need to. You literally just need to know the next step. And that's what faith is all about. It's about having faith. Have faith. Faith is like a skill, It's not just this, like, delusional thing people can have. Like, my faith has taken a lot of work for me to let go of my control, to let go of my fear, to let go of my worry, to let go of all of this stuff that was really just, slowly killing me. Isn't that crazy? And to be a witness to so many miracles, to do exactly what I just shared with you so many times and witness so many miracles, that I just know now. I just know when I have a problem, that's what I do. What I just told you, that's what I do. And, I'm still a human. I might still freak out, when something really challenging arises. But, like, ultimately, I'm going to surrender to God, and I'm going to know that God's got me, because God's literally always got me no matter what. God is more powerful. I have more faith in God than I have in this world. Like, I know God to be more powerful than anything in this world. Anything in this world is so malleable and transient compared to God. I literally know that deeper than I've ever known that. And so that's why I can live in this way. And that's what I'm sharing. I don't know if I ever even shared what I was saying earlier about my car, but maybe there's a reason for that. But I was just saying my car was making this noise. Did I even finish that story? I'm sorry, I don't remember. But my point is it stopped. Like, the noise just randomly stopped. Like, I just, prayed about it. I didn't worry about it. I was like, it'll be fine. And I'm still, going to probably, start taking action that I feel guided to take on that. But it literally stopped. Like, how does that happen? Like, that's like a mechanical miracle, but little things like that happen to me all the time. Like, little things that, like, are so crazy, like, or big things even, like, that I just don't worry about. Or, like, going and finding something, like finding the right thing at the right time. Like, I do it all the time. And I see people stress about that. People stress about not finding what they need. It's like, you will find exactly what you need if you just, like, really get tight with God and whatever that means to you. It's not random. It's not a coincidence. It's like, I'm not just this really lucky person. Like, I feel very lucky, but it's really not just luck. It's, it's intentional. Like, it's something I do on purpose, and I don't really do it. I just know that God is real, a real force, not just for me to something to idly believe in, but for me to work with, to call in, to co-create with, to be immensely humble to, because it's so much greater than I. Really, 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 really. So I think that's the biggest thing, is people's pride. People are so way too prideful for their own good when it comes to really having a relationship with God and seeing what's possible. I'm sure there's also fear, trauma, maybe just straight up, like, blocks because of how dense this world is and how dense the programming has been. And just have so much love and compassion for yourself. It really just takes the faith of a mustard seed in the first step, the next step. And as you keep going, you just start to build your faith. But I'm telling you, that is the most powerful thing I think you can do no matter what you're in, is to just really, really, really give up your pride and call in God. I think that's the most advanced thing that we can do on this earth right now that I'm aware of, genuinely. You know, there's all these things, all these techniques, all these manifestations, all these, but really what I'm saying, in whatever capacity you want to take it in, I'm saying it in maybe more of an esoteric Christian kind of way, but it doesn't matter. The point is, it's tapping into the highest force that is part of you, and getting out of the way, getting your little human self down here scurrying around, you know, freaking out about everything, just starting to let that higher thing come in that has got you. And it's a practice, it's a relationship that you build. You know, sometimes I talk to God like, you know, it's like my best friend. Like, it's just like that. Like, it's just so, like, we're so, and I say this humbly because I'm still, you know, a dense human, but like, we're so close like that. It's just like that. And everything in my life, you know, I'm always talking to God. I'm always communicating with God, little things here and there. Like, you know, I'm saying something or I'm listening, you know, and that's just how it goes. And I'm still human. I still make mistakes all the time, but I just use them as opportunities to learn. And I know that God's got me. So I hope this is helpful. Yeah, just little things like this all the time. I just really want to drive this home because it is very often, I feel like I talk to people, and again, they're saying they believe in God, but they're really not truly like if you really actually believe in God, why would you not be like on a mission to talk to God, to work with God, to like be in communion with God, not just on like a, you know, not just like once a month, but like every day. Not because, you know, you're forced to or obligated to, or God's gonna punish you if you don't, because you have free will. God loves you no matter what. God is always here for you. Even if you're on the road to hell, God's gonna love you and still be here for you. It's not about that. It's about your using your free will to start to actually evolve into, like, that's the real evolution, in my opinion, is realizing like, hey, you know, like, we can be vessels for something way more intelligent and loving and profound than our own human mind or programming is. But we have to really have to make that decision, and we can't be deluding ourselves thinking that, oh yeah, I believe in God, but, you know, not really like having that relationship with God. And the last thing I'll say is it's fun, it's joyful, it's beautiful. Life is so much, you know, you still have your trials and tribulations, of course, at times, but, you know, life is just a lot more enjoyable, I think, when you have this relationship with God. It's like the light comes on, you know, the light is brightening within you. You still like get to have fun and do all this stuff. It's just now you have a new consciousness in a way, you know. It's not really new, but it's new to us as human beings. And just, you know, really be humble to that, and really be mindful of your pride, you know, when it comes to talking to God and asking God for help, or anything. You know, when I say be humble, I don't mean, because like people be like, oh, I can't ask God for help, again, to me that's pride. Like, you can, you're supposed to, that's why we're here. You know, we're not supposed to do it all by ourselves. Like, trying to do everything by yourself is just going to keep giving you the same thing. So I love you all. This was kind of a long video, longer than I intended, but it's so strong on my heart. I really feel like this is the biggest thing we can do, you guys. Like, genuinely, if you're not already doing this, or if you are, just continue to do it. Let this be a confirmation and affirmation, and just share this with people. You know, whether you share this video or just share this, I kind of want to say gospel. Honestly, that's what's coming through to other people. Like, let God in for real. Let God in. Ask God for help. Watch what happens. You know, just watch. If you can just be somewhat open, just have a little humility that maybe you don't know everything, maybe you aren't in control of everything, maybe there is a higher thing that can literally come in and do things that you would never even imagine. It's so out of your bandwidth what God can do. God can do things that, like, we literally just can't freaking understand. That's why we got to be humble. Be so humble. And it's so amazing when you get to witness this in your life or in the lives of people around you. If you can really, really ask God in and just spend a little bit of time and space doing that. Watch how it transforms your life. Seriously, let it in. Let it in. Again, I'm saying it one more time. I repeat myself, but it's necessary. Be humble. Be humble. You don't know everything. You don't know everything. Your ego wants to kick in. No, it's like this. It's like this. It's always like this. Blah, blah, blah. You don't know that. You don't know that. And you've been doing that, probably. So do something you've never done before and let God in even more. Even more. Because it's a practice. And it culminates, you know? Let God in even more. I feel like I've been letting God in for a long time, but never to the extent that I'm letting God in now. You know? Every day, if you can, let God in just a little bit more. Some days you can let God in a lot more, and you'll be like, wow, what a divine experience this life really is. Look at all the love and joy and healing and miracles that I get to be a part of. And it's not that I'm doing it. I just get to be a witness, really, of what's possible. I get to be like a vessel of what's possible. And that's way more than enough for me. That is such a source of joy for me. You know, when you know that, you really can walk like the lion in this world. And I'm not saying I'm there yet, but I'm getting glimpses of it, and it's possible for all of us. You really walk like the lion with that level of love and divine authority, knowing humbly who you are. The mightiness that you are and were created to be. And it's not your ego. No, it's not this grandiose thing. It's just this truth that is. Once you connect and build that relationship with God as your first priority, like your life depends on it, because it does. All right, I love you all so much. Thank you for listening. I hope you have an amazing day and just keep shining.